It's often the seemingly small things that have the biggest impact.
Definitely.
Take Charles Schwab. Back in the early 20th century, pulling in over $1 million a year, which was huge then.
Astronomical. Yeah.
And what's fascinating is he credited a big chunk of that success simply to his ability to deal with people.
And wasn't a key part of that his smile?
Exactly. His captivating smile. It really makes you stop and think about the power of something so basic.
It really does. That simple curve of the lips, it just says so much instantly. It's a potent signal, nonverbal.
Yeah, it cuts through all sorts of, barriers.
Mm.
So in this deep dive, we're going to really laser focus on that. The surprising power of a smile in making people genuinely like you.
Unlocking warmer connections, basically.
Right, one smile at a time. We've gathered some really compelling perspectives from the real benefits a smile brings to its, deep historical significance.
Sounds good.
We're going to explore 7 key areas, give you a really comprehensive understanding of this often overlooked superpower.
So what is it then? What gives a smile that kind of sway? It's clearly more than just looking pleasant.
Definitely taps into something deeply human.
Okay.
So let's start with what we're calling the $1 million smile.
Intriguing name.
Well, the core idea here is just that immediate positive message a smile sends, and the incredibly strong first impression it makes.
Right?
Think about it. You walk into a room, someone smiles warmly at you. Instantly, it feels like, I'm approachable, or even, hey, I'm glad you're here.
That immediate positive cue, it just dissolves awkwardness, right? Fosters goodwill.
It's like a silent universal welcome. That's a good way to put it.
And that initial feeling, that connection, it's so vital. It sets the stage for everything else, makes people more open.
Absolutely. And it goes way beyond just the first hello.
How so?
Well, people who smile more often, they tend to be, more effective managers, better teachers, more successful in sales, even better at raising happier kids, apparently. It's like this one gesture has this ripple effect across life.
That's quite a range of influence.
Yeah. And here's something that really hit me. That story about the New York department store manager.
Oh, the one who preferred the smiling clerk.
That's the one. Said he'd much rather hire a sales clerk with a good smile than some brilliant philosopher who looked miserable all the time.
That really puts the practical value front and center, doesn't it?
It does. It highlights how sometimes those people skills, that warmth, can trump even, pure intellect in certain roles.
It definitely speaks to the impact on customer interactions and the bottom line, really.
Totally. Now flip that. Think about the opposite. What vibe do you get from someone who just isn't smiling?
Uh-oh. Yeah, not great usually.
A frown or just a flat expression?
Yeah.
It can accidentally project negativity, right? Maybe even seem self-absorbed.
Creates a barrier right away. Less inviting.
People are just less likely to approach someone who looks unhappy or bored. It might seem cold, distant.
Yeah, unfriendly even. That really stunts your ability to connect, to build relationships.
And in business, if customers don't get that welcoming smile, they can feel like just a number, a transaction.
Right. We even heard from someone, didn't we, who picks companies based on how friendly they sound on the phone.
Yeah. That audible warmth, that phone smile, it made a real difference to their perception of the company.
It just shows how powerful those nonverbal cues are, or the lack of them. It's not neutral.
Not at all. The absence of a smile can actively send negative signals, create distance.
So everyday examples.
Well, you see greeters, right?
Right.
Like at Walmart or Target. Sometimes it feels a bit routine, maybe, but the intention is there, that initial welcome.
Sure, that first point of contact.
Then you've got, your favorite local coffee shop. A big part of the appeal is often the baristas who smile, maybe remember your order.
Creates that community vibe. Loyalty.
Exactly. And car dealerships. Those sales folks are definitely using smiles to build that initial rapport. Try and build some trust.
These are all businesses strategically using smiles. It's part of their service blueprint.
But we've all had the other experience, haven't we?
Oh, yeah. Walking into a place where the staff just look bored. Or worse.
It makes you want to just turn around and walk out sometimes.
And often it feels like a lack of training, maybe, not emphasizing that welcoming attitude.
Could be. They end up creating this cold, transactional feel, no real connection.
That's a big oversight, forgetting the human element in favor of, I don't know, just efficiency or something.
So bringing it back to the $1 million smile idea, what's the key takeaway?
Well, it seems to be that a genuine smile builds goodwill. It creates comfort, connection.
Which is fundamental, right, for any relationship, personal or professional.
And in business, that translates pretty directly.
Mm.
More sales, better loyalty, positive brand image.
It's amazing, really, how that simple expression can have such a measurable impact on success.
Yeah, it shows that positive human connection isn't just fluff, it's often a critical driver.
Okay, so let's dig a bit deeper now into the genuine smile.
Mm.
Because, let's face it, a forced grin doesn't quite cut it, does it?
Not at all. That can feel, well, fake. Doesn't build trust.
Right. We're talking about that authentic smile. The one that comes from inside, shows real happiness or interest.
That distinction is crucial. We're pretty good at spotting insincerity usually.
We are. A forced smile can actually backfire, damage trust instead of building it.
So the real deal has actual value.
Absolutely. It holds tangible, social, professional advantages. And remember, William James,
The philosopher, psychologist.
he pointed out that our outward actions, like smiling, can actually influence how we feel inside.
Ah, the feedback loop. Smile genuinely, feel happier.
Exactly. So it benefits you and the other person. Plus, think about brightening someone's day. Your smile could be like sunshine for someone having a tough time.
That's a nice way to put it. It's that interplay between expression and emotion. A virtuous cycle.
Okay, so what about the downsides of faking it? Or just not smiling genuinely?
Well, like we said, an insincere smile can feel mechanical. People might resent it, feel manipulated even.
Damages trust. And personally, constantly frowning, having that negative resting face. It can actually make you feel unhappier.
Reinforcing the negative emotions.
Yeah. And in business, if the team isn't genuinely smiling, it creates this unwelcoming, maybe even unpleasant atmosphere.
Right. Sincerity is key for building that rapport. Inauthenticity just creates distance.
So who does this well? Which companies come to mind?
Well, Chick-fil-A often gets mentioned, doesn't it? Their staff seem consistently polite, smiling, the whole my pleasure thing.
Yeah, it usually feels pretty genuine.
Or Trader Joe's. Their employees often seem relaxed, friendly, the smiles feel natural, part of their brand.
Good examples. And often smaller family-run businesses really thrive on that genuine connection, those real smiles.
Absolutely. It shows how a culture that fosters genuine positivity can be a real advantage. It's not just making people smile.
Right? It's creating an environment where they want to.
Mm-hmm.
But then you see businesses kind of miss the mark here.
How so?
Maybe they hire purely on skills, technical stuff, but overlook warmth, people skills.
Or they don't empower employees, don't let them show personality, connect authentically.
Yeah. Or the work environment itself is just too high pressure, too negative. It kind of squeezes the smiles out of people.
Those are definite pitfalls. It needs a holistic approach. Skills and warmth. And culture matters hugely.
So the bottom line for this section, a genuine smile signals authenticity, warmth, and that's gold for building trust, likability.
Essential for long-term relationships, loyalty, both personally and professionally.
Yeah. Genuineness isn't just nice, it's foundational.
It really is. Builds those enduring connections.
Okay, let's tackle something really interesting now. Smiling, even when you don't really feel like it.
Ah, the fake it till you make it applied to smiling.
Kind of. We all have off days, right? But the intriguing part is how consciously smiling might actually change how you feel.
Delving into that mind-body connection again.
Exactly. William James, again, suggested that even if you're not feeling happy, acting happy, like forcing a smile, can tend to make you feel a bit better.
The physical action influencing the internal state.
Right. It's like sending a signal upstairs. And it might also help manage your thoughts, nudge you towards a more positive attitude.
Proactively steering your mood.
He called it a sovereign voluntary path to cheerfulness. I like that. Acting happy to become happy.
It emphasizes our agency, doesn't it? We're not just passive recipients of our emotions.
You're not. But what if you just let the negative feelings run the show? Let them dictate your expression.
Well, that sounds like a downward spiral. Feel bad, frown, feel worse.
Creates that negative cycle.
Oh.
And socially, a consistently glum look pushes people away. We tend to gravitate towards positivity, don't we?
Generally, yes. And in customer service.
Even if an employee is having a genuinely rough day, if that translates into no smile, it really impacts the customer's experience.
That highlights the need for emotional regulation, especially in those roles. It's tough, but important.
Think about industries where this is like job requirement number one.
Hospitality. Disney cast members.
Exactly. Trained to maintain that cheerful, smiling disposition, even when things are hectic.
Flight attendants, too, right? Greeting everyone with a smile to set a pleasant tone.
Yeah, or even, say, a pharmacist. Offering a reassuring smile to someone who's clearly not feeling well. It shows empathy.
These are all examples of industries recognizing the impact and training for it. Projecting positivity is part of the job.
But businesses can get this wrong too.
Like how?
Allowing employees to just bring all their personal negativity into customer interactions. No support, no training on how to manage it.
Or not seeing the link between how employees feel their morale and their actual ability or willingness to offer a genuine smile.
Right. Ignoring the connection between internal well-being and external performance.
That's short-sighted. Happy employees are more likely to create happy customers.
So the crucial point here is that conscious smiling, even when it's hard, can potentially lift your mood and definitely projects positivity.
Builds resilience, strengthens relationships.
It's a tool, really, a powerful tool for self-management and better interactions.
Fascinating how something so simple can be so strategic.
Okay, let's broaden the scope again. Let's talk about the ripple effect of a smile.
Ah, the contagious aspect.
Exactly. It's not just about you and the person you're smiling at. It sends out waves.
Like dropping a pebble in a pond. Positive ripples spreading outwards.
Yeah. Your smile's like a little messenger of goodwill, says positive things without words.
Approachable, friendly.
And it can genuinely offer hope or encouragement to someone stressed out.
Yeah.
Like that sunshine analogy again.
Mm-hmm. And the reciprocity part is key too, isn't it?
Huge. You smile at someone, they often smile back automatically. Creates that positive feedback loop.
It's a fundamental social interaction, fosters connection, shared positive feeling.
Now the flip side of that ripple
A frown.
creates tension, awkwardness.
Definitely. And if someone smiles at you and you just blank them,
Ouch. Feels rude, dismissive. Can damage that potential connection right there.
yeah. And in a workplace, a general lack of smiles just drags the whole atmosphere down. Hurts morale, productivity maybe.
Yeah.
So our expressions really shape the emotional climate around us. We have a responsibility there.
We do. Think about everyday stuff. Grocery store cashiers often encouraged to smile, right? Make checkout a bit nicer.
Restaurant staff using welcoming smiles to make you feel comfortable.
Even phone support. Being trained to smile in their voice. That warmth translates.
Shows businesses know this works. They're leveraging that contagious positivity.
But sometimes they drop the ball,
How?
creating that purely transactional feel. Impersonal. No encouragement for friendly interaction.
Or not realizing a smile can actually de-escalate things. Calm tense situation.
Right. It has practical problem-solving power too.
That's a missed opportunity then, failing to cultivate that friendly environment.
So the big idea here, just by starting with a smile, you can create a more receptive, positive environment.
Leads to better relationships, more cooperation.
It's amazing, isn't it, how much influence we have just through that one small act.
It really is. Initiating positivity.
Yeah.
Powerful stuff.
Okay, let's shift gears slightly. Dale Carnegie was big on this next one, appreciation.
Ah, linking smiles to showing you value someone.
Exactly. We're calling this the forgotten virtue, appreciation and smiles. A smile can be a potent nonverbal thank you or I see you.
Taps into that fundamental human need to feel valued, seen, acknowledged. A smile does that instantly.
It really can. Think about kids. What makes them light up? Often it's that look of parental interest, approval, communicated through a smile.
That positive regard.
Or even just showing a bit of extra courtesy, a genuine smile, to a tired salesperson. That's meaningful recognition.
Beautiful examples of how smiles convey positive regard, strength, and connections.
But what if you don't smile in those moments? Someone does something positive and you just, nothing.
Makes them feel unseen, unappreciated, invisible almost.
Yeah. And if you're a leader, consistently not smiling creates distance, feels detached.
Mm-hmm. And in personal life, taking loved ones for granted, skipping the smiles, that can lead to feelings of neglect over time. Shows the negative impact when that expected acknowledgement isn't there, weakens the bond.
So who gets this right in business?
Nordstrom often gets praise, right? For attentiveness, friendly service. Smiles are surely part of that package.
Definitely. Small business owners connecting with regulars through warm smiles builds that loyalty.
Even a busy food truck, that smile when they hand you your food makes a difference.
It really does. Shows how it works across different scales and speeds of interaction.
Demonstrates businesses strategically using smiles to build those positive associations.
But again, where do businesses mess this up?
Maybe focusing only on speed, efficiency, forgetting the positive interaction, the appreciation part.
Or having a culture where employees feel undervalued themselves. How can they offer genuine smiles then?
That's a big one. Employee satisfaction is key.
Or simply not training staff to show appreciation non-verbally. Through smiles, through demeanor.
These are critical mistakes, overlooking the human need for connection and appreciation in the drive for efficiency.
So the big point here, combine a genuine smile with genuine appreciation. That really amplifies the positive impact.
Makes people feel seen, valued, builds likability, support,
It's that synergy, right? The smile and the feeling behind it working together.
creates a much deeper and more meaningful connection, fosters that goodwill.
Okay, this next one is cool. The sound of a smile.
Ah, the idea that you can hear a smile over the phone.
Exactly. Its power isn't just visual.
Fascinating to mention. Our voice carries so much emotional information. Warmth, positivity, the stuff of smiles.
It absolutely does. If you physically smile while talking on the phone, your voice actually sounds warmer, more welcoming,
Like an audible smile. Makes the caller feel the company cares.
and sounding genuinely glad to hear from someone. Makes them feel important, valued, even miles apart.
Really highlights how crucial tone is in remote communication. Voice becomes the main channel for emotion rapport.
So what's the downside of not having that phone smile?
Well, that cold, monotone, strictly business voice.
Makes you feel like a transaction,
Yeah.
just a number.
Right. A flat tone suggests lack of care, and no warmth means no positive connection is built.
Hinders any relationship building over the phone.
So you've got to consciously inject that warmth, that engagement. Otherwise, it's a negative experience.
And companies know this, right?
Many do. Call centers training agents on warm tone, even telling them to physically smile.
Receptionists coach to answer cheerfully.
Even automated systems, using friendlier voices now.
It shows a wide recognition of how much vocal tone matters for customer perception satisfaction.
But where do they get it wrong?
Maybe focusing too much on sticking to the script. Kills any warmth or personality. Robotic.
Or just not training on phone etiquette that includes friendliness. Basic stuff.
Or underestimating that first phone impression. How much it sets the tone.
Yeah, prioritizing process over positive human connection on the phone. It's a common trap.
So the key here, projecting that smile through your voice extends the principle's reach. Crucial for remote interactions.
Shows how fundamental smiling is. It adapts, it conveys positive intent, builds connection, no matter the channel.
Okay, final section. Let's zoom out. The ancient wisdom of a smiling face.
Ah, taking the historical view. Its timeless significance.
Exactly. This isn't some new self-help trick. The power of a smile, recognized for centuries.
Provides that cultural, historical context. It's universal.
There's that great old Chinese proverb, right? A man without a smiling face must not open a shop.
Speaks volumes, doesn't it? The fundamental role of a smile in creating a welcoming, successful environment, recognized long ago.
Makes sense. A smiling face has long signaled good character, positive intent, reflects well on you.
Contributes to happiness at home, goodwill in business.
And it's just a basic sign of friendship, isn't it? Signals approachability. Come talk to me.
Absolutely. Universal positive associations, linked to good traits, good outcomes across cultures and time.
And the opposite. The frown, the scowl.
Historically, it makes people turn away, avoid interaction.
In business, deters customers. Hurts sales, reputation.
And personally, it creates distance, hinders friendships, intimacy.
So that negative perception is also consistent across time and culture. It builds barriers. So where do we see this timeless wisdom in action today?
Small family-run shops relying on those welcoming smiles for loyalty, that personal touch.
Service pros, hairdressers, therapists using smiles to build trust, create a relaxing vibe.
Even the delivery driver. A quick smile leaves a better impression.
Right. These modern examples just echo that ancient understanding. It still works. It's still vital.
Shows the enduring relevance in service roles, building trust, rapport, positive experiences. Timeless.
But businesses can still ignore this ancient wisdom.
Like creating overly formal, stiff atmospheres where smiling feels out of place.
Yeah. Or just not seeing friendly service as a competitive edge, which it absolutely can be.
Or, again, failing to build that positive internal culture that naturally leads to more smiles towards customers.
These are failures to leverage something fundamental about human interaction,
Yeah.
valued for ages.
Overly formal or negative environments undermine everything.
So the ancient wisdom just confirms it all, really. A smile is fundamental for positive connections, success in life, work.
It's that universal language of goodwill, enduring power.
It really is. Fascinating how something so simple remains so central across the ages.
Truly is.
Okay, let's tie this all together now with a story. Alex, a tech entrepreneur.
Okay.
Brilliant with the product, super focused on the tech side. but he kind of overlooked the people part.
Ah, common scenario in tech startups, maybe. Product focus over relationships.
Exactly. And the result,
Yeah.
sluggish sales, team felt disengaged, low morale.
Right. So how did applying these smile principles change things internally for him?
Well, first off, he was pretty cold initially, cast-focused. So he made a point to just start greeting people with a genuine smile each morning.
Small change, big impact.
Apparently, yeah. Shifted the mood. He also wasn't big on praise, so he started deliberately appreciating contributions out loud.
Boosted confidence, you figure.
Definitely. And instead of just telling people what to do, he started actually listening to their ideas, made them feel valued.
Fostered collaboration.
And feedback he learned to start with praise before criticism. Made it easier to swallow.
Smart. And he showed more personal interest, too.
Yeah, asked about their lives outside work, built real loyalty, connection.
So smiling, appreciation, listening, empathy, it all transformed the internal dynamic.
Completely and externally. With clients, investors.
How did he change there? His pitches were probably pretty dry
It's
before.
very factual, yeah, no warmth. So he started opening interactions with a real smile, found people were way more receptive.
Interesting. What else?
He used to forget names, made people feel unimportant. He worked hard at remembering and using them, made a huge difference.
People notice that, feel valued.
And instead of just talking about his product, he started focusing on the other person's interests and needs, made conversations engaging.
Shift from selling to connecting.
Right. And when concerns came up, instead of getting defensive, he learned to listen with empathy, built trust even out of disagreements.
Turning conflict into connection. Powerful.
And finally, customer interactions. Moved from purely transactional to offering personalized service, showing genuine care,
Which leads to.
higher satisfaction, and way more positive referrals.
So again, smiling, remembering names, focusing on others, empathy, genuine care, transformed his external results too.
Absolutely, the outcome. Alex became this respected leader. Sales soared, morale was high, relationships were strong.
And the key was.
His financial success wasn't just the tech, it was deeply tied to understanding human connection.
Yeah.
And it all really kicked off with a smile.
Wow, that's a powerful illustration of everything we've discussed. Small changes, big results.
It really is a real testament to integrating these skills.
Definitely drives home the point.
And that kind of brings us to the end of this deep dive, the main takeaway. That key to a warmer world, more connection, it often starts with just your own smile.
So the encouragement is to go try it. Pay attention.
Yeah. See what happens. Observe the impact on you, on others. You might be surprised what connections you spark.
A great final thought. Put the knowledge into practice.
Thanks so much for joining us for this deep dive. You know, it's often the seemingly small things that have the biggest impact.
Definitely.
Take Charles Schwab. Back in the early 20th century, pulling in over $1 million a year, which was huge then.
Astronomical. Yeah.
And what's fascinating is he credited a big chunk of that success simply to his ability to deal with people.
And wasn't a key part of that his smile?
Exactly. His captivating smile. It really makes you stop and think about the power of something so basic.
It really does. That simple curve of the lips, it just says so much instantly. It's a potent signal, nonverbal.
Yeah, it cuts through all sorts of, barriers. So in this deep dive, we're going to really laser focus on that. The surprising power of a smile in making people genuinely like you.
Unlocking warmer connections, basically.
Right, one smile at a time. We've gathered some really compelling perspectives from the real benefits a smile brings to its, deep historical significance.
Sounds good.
We're going to explore 7 key areas, give you a really comprehensive understanding of this often overlooked superpower.
So what is it then? What gives a smile that kind of